I think we have all been there at some point, standing in front of a wardrobe that seems way too full to appear so dull and uninspiring. And the key to fixing why you cannot stand your wardrobe is to first figure out why and also how you ended up here in the first place. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why you might hate your wardrobe. First of all, let's talk about one that can be so difficult to avoid. If you notice that you feel very sick of your wardrobe, you may want to consider and be honest with yourself here whether you have relied entirely on trends to build it. And no judgment here, it is an increasingly easy thing to do, especially with the horrendously rapid trend cycles that just bombard us whenever we go on pretty much any social media platform, and they just take more and more space in our lives. It can be very difficult to kind of step back and build a wardrobe that is removed from all of that. And trying to put together an outfit when your wardrobe consists mainly of trends is an actual nightmare. Whether they are current trends or not, it's just a surefire way to hate your wardrobe. You'll find that things often don't feel true or authentic to you. It's very likely that you have already gone off them if they are not the most recent purchase. And you might also notice that it is difficult to find things that truly go well together when you just want clothes on your body. You just want an outfit that looks and feels good and is not something that is going to be linked to a social media trend. Of course, it is okay to have trends in your wardrobe, but you want to also have basics because they do look just endlessly chic paired together. They are the pieces that truly make the trends work. If you only have trends or too much of it in your wardrobe, you will struggle to put together an outfit that feels not like a costume, maybe, if we can put it gently. Let me know if you agree, if you can relate, or if it's just me. Moving on, I also want to talk a little bit about the concept of shopping for your fantasy self. It's something that has become a lot more talked about on the internet as of late, and it is such a valid concept to consider. And this is relevant whether you have a different lifestyle to what you used to, or if you have just habitually shopped for some sort of fantasy lifestyle that you do not currently have. Because if your wardrobe does not reflect the lifestyle that you are living, you will find it quite frustrating trying to put together outfits for your daily life. And this is such an easy trap to fall into as well. When we know that, okay, I'm going to steer clear of trends, I'm going to focus on my personal style, it's so easy to think that I just need to buy what I like and what truly speaks to me, but sadly it is not quite as simple. If you do not start with the lifestyle that you do have, it's very easy to end up wasting a lot of money, a lot of space in your wardrobe, and causing yourself a lot of unnecessary frustration. That's why I always like to start with the non-negotiables for my lifestyle. So obviously this is part of a much bigger topic, but just an example to illustrate my point. Say that for you, it's a non-negotiable, you have to wear trainers every single day. Have to, you want to. That's what you wear. And then you want to kind of focus more on, okay, what kind of trousers look good with the trainers I like to wear? What kind of dresses? Do I prefer to dress them up or down, staying with a more casual vibe? How do you like to wear them for work? And just work with your sort of more realistic truths, really, rather than just, I love a beautiful ball gown. I mean, we all do, right? You can't wear that to work. And I am very much a fan of trying to meld in your fantasy self with your lifestyle. Do you still have a personal style that you feel excited about, but it's also still practical? It's not something that you put on and you suddenly feel self-conscious or out of place. So in short, I would go as far as to say the key here is not to eliminate your fantasy self entirely, but to find a way that it can work with your lifestyle. So if having too many trends is not your issue, perhaps it is that you have bought clothes that do not fit your lifestyle, but let's say your clothes do fit your lifestyle. Then you might also have the issue of the ratio being off, and by that I mean that maybe you have work clothes and you have workout clothes, maybe you have going out clothes, so technically you have all the areas of your lifestyle covered, but maybe you have, which is very easy to do, I would know, too many dresses or going out outfits, the things that are the most fun to shop for, let's just be honest. And they have just taken center stage, they take up too much space, they've taken too much money in your wardrobe compared to, say, the work clothes that you might need 5 days a week, as opposed to the more fancy clothes you might need once a month, if that. So the point just is that even if you do have a need for more of these sparkly pieces, more fun pieces, just remember to keep the ratio in mind. Now, the next one is obvious, but it cannot be said enough, and that is that you have kept clothes that do not fit. And this can be clothes that maybe they fit you once and they no longer do, and you have just kept them because you can technically still put them on, or maybe one day they will fit. Or maybe these are clothes that you bought thinking you would have them tailored and then never did, and now it's been years and they are still just hanging there, just as ill-fitting as ever. Maybe you have just accepted that finding well-fitting clothes is too difficult, so you are just going to accept sort of a poor fit. I get it, it can be very difficult, but fit is truly everything, and you can shift this thinking a little bit, because I know it can be difficult to find something that fits you well. But instead of thinking shopping takes so long, it's too stressful, too much work finding something that fits me, you can also think this is going to save me so much money because I'm now only going to buy things that truly look good on me, which is definitely something that I have done throughout my personal style journey. It has saved me money in the long run, and I now also feel that the clothes that I do end up buying are much better. They're much more valued in my wardrobe as well. A pair of tailored trousers that fit you amazingly, people are going to say that looks amazing, what a pair of trousers, where did you buy them, wow. But if they don't fit well, people are not going to comment that. They're going to look kind of cheap and just not that good. So it's not always about getting the right item or the it item, it's about having that really good fit. But within this is also really learning about what a good fit truly is, because it's not necessarily always intuitive. Sometimes we can see that things just don't look great, but we can't pinpoint what it is that makes this a poor fit. Some of these things are important to know because it can really help you determine whether it is worth the expense of having that piece tailored, or if you should just let it go and find something that fits you a little bit better. So some mornings I walk into my wardrobe and I put together an outfit that I love in a minute, and that feels great, very magical. I wish every morning was like that, but in reality it's not. Sometimes I am running late and I try 3 or 4 different things and nothing looks right, and I'm frustrated, I hate everything, and I just walk out in an outfit that is whatever, at least I have clothes on, you know. I get it, we all want to be that girl on Instagram that always looks really effortless and amazing, and we just imagine that she just picks out things without even thinking and she looks great. I think it is absolutely delusional because that does require effort, and I think that being able to open our wardrobe and just have that Cinderella moment of always just receiving a gift of the perfect outfit, it's fantasy. In truth, I think it does take a little bit of time to always leave the house in a great outfit. So what can you do? First of all, you should, as I have mentioned a million times in this video already, work on your personal style. The better you know your personal style and how it works with your lifestyle, the easier it's going to be to put together outfits and really have a wardrobe that works well for you. I obviously put together my seasonal capsule wardrobes, which I feel helps immensely. And if you've seen around on my social media, I also put together little collages, which has like all the clothes, and I obviously do this because I do put them on social media. But if you do have the time and it's not something that you detest doing, I would kind of recommend it. Maybe not always, but at least try it once. And then from that, I also make kind of outfit ideas. It's incredibly easy. Obviously, they don't always translate 100% to the body, but it gives me so many ideas for what to wear with a very limited number of pieces. It's just a really nice way to kind of have a little bit of a bank of outfits that you can go to. If you have not tried it, I would highly recommend it. Yes, it does take a little bit of time, but you are going to spend time putting together outfits anyways, just over a longer period of time. So when you just have a little bit of downtime, maybe put on a podcast or something and just relax, enjoy and play around with it. Obviously, you can also do this actually trying on outfits in your wardrobe, which is a fantastic way of getting to know it. And I've talked about this a lot before. One of my best tips is always to put together the outfit you're going to wear the day before. So the night before, just hang up your outfit. If you need to steam it, do that. Just get everything ready so you don't actually have to kind of stress with it in the morning when you are rushing and you just want something nice to wear. The next problem that might be the reason you hate your wardrobe is that you shop uncritically and without a plan. And something I have definitely done at some point, I think a lot of us have. And the more you do this, the more you will end up with a wardrobe that just frustrates you. But this essentially comes down to buying things that are just okay. It's often linked to when we just want to buy something for the sake of buying it and not necessarily something that is very constructive in nature. And even when it's not, I know that shopping can be very difficult. I know it's not the easiest to find something that is well made, it's the right color, it fits, and something that is in our budget, preferably as well. So it just sometimes feels like a little bit of a big ask to kind of also need this item to be something that we truly love. But the solution here is patience and not to shop when you are just looking for a shopping fix. It's a little bit outside the realm of this video, but if you do struggle with kind of needing to buy something just to buy it, I would always recommend that you buy something that is perishable instead of things that just pile up. For example, as we're talking about your wardrobe, you don't want all of your mistakes or all of your impulse purchases to kind of stare you in the face every single morning. So buying things like flowers instead, or candles, or food, something that will disappear eventually, is always my go-to, instead of going out and buying clothes that are just okay simply because I want to buy something. And even if I think that, oh, I need to update my wardrobe for the upcoming season, I also always go in with a plan, and I make that plan before I start shopping. I would rather have a wardrobe that is filled with things I love instead of just having all of the options, which was definitely something I had to relearn, but it's made me so much more excited about getting dressed in general, so I highly recommend it. And even if you feel like you don't shop just to shop, you might recognize that you think you just instantly fall in love with an item in the store, and somehow it makes you feel like if you just have this one piece, all your problems will be solved magically, things are just going to fall into place and all the other pieces will work. Then you put it in your wardrobe and it does not work that way. Nothing has magically changed. The antidote to this is truly to just create a plan before you start shopping and adding things to your wardrobe. Really assess it before you start adding to it. The final mistake, well, it's not truly the final, but it's going to be for the sake of this video, so we don't end up with a video that is just way too long. And I have had such a trip trying to work this out for myself, so I thought it deserved its own point rather than to just be lumped in with things that no longer fit, precisely because I have actually kept a few too many things that I no longer wear for the justification that they technically still fit me, so it feels wrong to get rid of them. But it's not wrong. You need to get rid of them, because if you have lived a certain amount of time, you might notice that clothes that you bought 8 years ago today have a tendency to look a little different in the light of, quite frankly, a different you. So when you do the inevitable declutter of your wardrobe, pick up these pieces that you no longer wear but hang on to because at some point you love them so much. Just realize it's okay to let these pieces go. They no longer serve you. It's sort of the inverse of shopping for your fantasy self. It's keeping your previous version self clothes. Maybe it's something that you don't feel comfortable wearing anymore. Maybe it doesn't suit your lifestyle. Maybe it's a pair of shoes that you can no longer tolerate the pain to beauty threshold of, which I know I definitely have had a few of those. So when you go through your wardrobe, consider whether it fits your current lifestyle, but also your current personal style. Taste and preferences do evolve over time, as do long-term trends. And as your style evolves, you naturally gravitate towards these older pieces less. And if they make up a large portion of your wardrobe, it's only natural that you start to hate your wardrobe a little bit. It's filled with older versions of you and it doesn't really reflect who you are anymore. So get rid of them. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not saying this to encourage overconsumption in any way, rather the opposite. Instead of using this as an excuse to throw out things just because you want something new and shiny, I think this should remind us not to overconsume trends and obsessions. You realize that things that you thought were timeless 10 years ago were not. Do I have an example from my own life, I hear you say? Well, yes I do. How about the countless bandage dresses that I bought in my late teens and early 20s? My young little brain thought this was going to be timeless and I would wear these until I was on my deathbed, but clearly, where are they now? A lot of them are donated, some of them I did actually end up selling because I did buy some expensive ones as well. Lots of money wasted. And it's a very good reminder that I don't need as many of a thing just because I love it. Do you have any more points to add to this list? I would love to hear them, and I am sure everybody else would as well. So leave them in a comment down below if you do. If you have not subscribed yet, please consider doing so if you think you want to see more videos, but if you're very ready to never see my face again, I would recommend that you don't. Either way, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and if you stick around, I'll see you very shortly in the next video. Bye!